Hi everyone, and welcome to another segment of AstrologyAnswers.com's weekly forecast. My name is Terence Gardino. The week begins on Monday, March the 16th, and this is going to be an active astrological week. Let's start with Monday. Discerning communication Mercury is moving back into Pisces. Now, it was in Pisces throughout February. Then it briefly, when it was retrograded back into more rational, objective Aquarius from about the 4th of March through the 15th. Now, the 16th, it's back into Pisces, but after it has been retrograde. So a lot of replanning, rethinking, re-editing to get us more focused on our goals and plans and expectations. So the better part of Mercury in Pisces can come through, which will last until April the 10th. The better part of Mercury in Pisces is communications and the mind and the plans of Mercury being influenced by Pisces. In the best vibration is Pisces is visionary, it's compassionate, it's inspiring. Now, the moon is going to be entering into more pragmatic, stabilizing Capricorn by around 8:30 a.m. that Monday, Pacific Standard Time. And then as we go into the next few hours into that day from the 8:30, then the moon is going to be favorable with rational Mercury, and then to more innovative, liberating Uranus. So a lot of new ideas, a lot of new stimulation, plus Mercury has now been direct for about a week. And so now Mercury is up to speed, our mind is more up to speed, not so sluggish, a little bit more focused, and a good week to start really making these plans for your future with the Pisces energy being more the visionary. Tuesday, March the 17th, is St. Patrick's Day, a time of celebration for many parts around the world, especially Ireland and the United States. Now, the moon will be in practical Capricorn, but it's going to be very favorable with pleasure-seeking Venus. Moon to Venus is good for partying, connecting with friends, and later in the day, the moon will be in harmony with Neptune. So this is, that moon Neptune is more this intuitive, compassionate energy. So a good day for being with friends and family and celebrating. Wednesday, the 18th, the moon is still in Capricorn. It's going to, in the first part of the day, aligned with more intense, compulsive Pluto. Could also be a time of triggering a lot of intense emotional reactions. But then it's favorable with the sun, so we're feeling in harmony with whatever deep feelings that were triggered. But then later in the evening, the moon in Capricorn will cross over Saturn in Capricorn. The positive would be that you're taking on a lot more responsibilities with home and family. The less desirable is you're worrying too much, perhaps about home and family. As we go into Thursday, the 19th, now the moon has entered into Aquarius for a couple of days. Aquarius is more group-oriented, more quirky, more progressive, and the sun is going to be in harmony with Saturn. And so this is a good day for business, a good day for feeling more in control, feeling more grounded, and also good for launching a new project, a new job, a new business. As later in the day, around 7:50 p.m. Pacific time, the sun is moving into Aries, and that is the beginning of a new season. It's the spring equinox in the north of the equator and the autumn equinox south of the equator. But it's always this, the midpoint between the winter solstice and the summer solstice. And that midpoint is equidistance between those 2 points. So it's equal daylight, equal darkness. But going into Aries the very next day, there's going to be like 4 more minutes of light. So we're coming out of the darkness, we're finding more balance with that equinox, and now we're starting to bring more light, more optimism, more consciousness until it reaches its peak with the solstice around June the 21st. Now, February the 20th, the Mars, assertive, ambitious Mars, is going to align with expansive Jupiter. This is very favorable for getting a lot of work accomplished, good for sports, good for exercising. But the thing is, the moon, it's in Aquarius, which is a good sign, but the moon will be void of course all day long into the early mornings of Saturday. Void of course means that the moon is not making any aspects whilst it's transiting through Aquarius to any other planet until it moves into Pisces on Saturday, and then it starts the whole cycle again. So when the moon is not making any aspects, there's no energy being triggered. It's kind of flat energy. So it's good for staying the course, just keep doing what you're doing, but there's no new energy for any kind of new activities, like new business. But that Mars with Jupiter, even though the energy is flat for launching new business, there is a lot can be accomplished with that Mars-Jupiter with old business. As we get into Saturday, by around 4:30 in the morning, Pacific Standard Time, the moon is now in Pisces. And it's more of this empathy, compassion, sensitivity, and the moon will be there for the weekend. The moon will also be crossing over Mercury, and then later on to Uranus. Moon Uranus shakes things up, gets us out of our ruts, kind of brings some new energy into our lives. Great for a Saturday night. That moon to Mercury earlier in the day, much more positive for creative writing, speaking, but the moon are all these emotional needs, and then with the Mercury, could be much more favorable for more understanding, more compassion in connecting with relationships. Later in the day on Saturday, the Saturn is moving into Aquarius. That is around 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so 11 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States, or the next day, the 22nd on Sunday for Europe. Saturn moves into Aquarius every 29 and a half years. It's going to just be a preview of what the new Saturn lessons for Aquarius will be for the next several years. We're getting a preview from March the 21st through July the 1st, where it then retrogrades back into Capricorn, which it had been in for the last several years, to make sure we've learned our lessons that Capricorn was trying to teach us. And then by December 2020, now the Saturn is back into Aquarius. Now, Saturn in Aquarius Aquarius is more group-oriented, more the collective, more progressive, more technological, that the Saturn can be where we're much more taking on much more responsibilities and focus. Sunday, as we wrap up the week, Mercury, discerning Mercury, is going to be favorable with Uranus. A great day for thinking out of the box with original ideas, for doing any kind of computer technological work. Venus will also be in harmony with Neptune. A lot of romance, a lot of empathy, a lot of compassion. As assertive Mars is now aligning with Pluto. That Pluto brings in this compulsiveness. So a lot can start being accomplished on Sunday, setting the stage for Monday, as that Mars will still be triggering Pluto, of triggering a lot of drive and ambition as we go into the new moon that Tuesday, starting a new cycle. And it's going to be in Aries, and with the spring or equinox, or the sun moving into Aries back on Thursday, now we're really focused on all these exciting new adventures and triggering a lot of new beginnings. Before I sign off, I want to remind you I'm available for the one-question offer for a nominal fee. You can find a direct link to order it in the description box below the video. Try to find your time of birth. It really helps with the predictions. I want to thank you for watching. I hope to see you next week with my next segment. Until then, have a great week.